Hey, what's going on? Miguel, host of Life Full Circle Radio. Welcome to the show. If you're checking us out across platforms, we are on, I believe we're on Facebook. Kia, let me know if we're on Facebook. We gotta be on Facebook. You know what? We're on my personal Facebook. That's not where I'm supposed to go, but that's where I am. Go to my personal Facebook. So anyway, the State of the Union was last night, and I watched none of it. Not near 1 hour and 47 minutes of it. And so, but we're going to talk about it because I think there's some fact checking stuff out there and stuff that we can get on. Pinky Cole is going to be the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't know when it starts, but that's kind of a big deal. 50 Cent versus T.I. is turned into a thing. And for some reason, he decided he wanted to bring in Beyonce's mama. I don't know what's going on with that. What are you watching? We got some other stuff. Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan and the situation there at the BAFTAs. I don't know what BAFTA stands for, but we're going to find out in a minute. All right. Make sure you check us out across all of the social platforms. And as I mentioned now, hopefully you're checking us out potentially on IG. A lot of my followers are on IG, and you can now follow us live on IG, on Instagram, and check out the show. And make sure you give us some comments and likes and all that good stuff. All right, let me go back over here. Kind of doing things a little different over here. It's got me slowing down. Super producer.
What's up?
The camera looks brighter today. Tell me you got your Ethernet cord plugged in.
I absolutely do. That's why I'm clear. And my husband is streaming on Hulu. It's been plugged in since we got back from your house. Me and Miguel and Tracy had a hang. It was so nice and wonderful to hang out with them. And as soon as we got back, Omar was like, let me go get that cord. And then he plugged everything in right away. So
yeah. Now you just shining and the light is on you. And then what we got going on behind your head back there? What's going on back there?
Tomorrow is my birthday. Yes, the horns. I turned 41 years old tomorrow. I'm very happy. You know, by God's grace, I've seen 41. I have been super blessed, good, bad, or ugly. It's been wonderful to see 41 years and be a mom to 3 kids and a friend and a podcaster and all this stuff. So I'm very proud of myself.
And one of the wonderful things about that is that you share a birthday with Layla. So Layla's birthday is tomorrow, and she will be 13.
How old is she turning?
13. I officially have nothing
Two
but teenagers in
teenagers.
my house.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
She's turning 13. Yep. So there's that.
That's
So
so
I only got a
beautiful.
few more years of these youngins in my house. So it is what it is.
No.
All right.
So where do we go?
Huh?
Where do we go today? Where are we starting at?
All right, let's start off with what So as I said at the top of the show, I absolutely watched not near a second of the State of the Union, not near a second of the State of the Union, and so, but it's still there. You talking about you had? Let me see. Did you drop me a link? Did you drop me a link? Let me see. Did you
I
drop me
did.
a fact check link?
It's
Let me see.
the first one I dropped. It's the
Okay.
NBC News one. And while you're finding that, so like Miguel said, President Donald Trump delivered the longest State of the Union address in history Tuesday night, touting his administration's economic policies and immigration enforcement, while condemning Democrats and the previous administration. Trump also made a series of exaggerated, misleading, and false claims throughout the evening about politics ranging from the economy to crime to the election. So let's start off with number one. The claim we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps. According to MSNBC, this needs context. Nearly 42 million Americans rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP. Around 2.4 million people are expected to lose eligibility for the program because of new work requirements passed in Trump's One Beautiful Bill, according to the Center on Budget Policy and Priorities, a nonpartisan think tank. But the timeline for making sure these people meet those requirements varies by state to state. So some have cuts haven't happened yet, and there's no proposal federal program to supplement the loss of food assistance. Now, this is the one thing that I'm cool with. I don't know about you. The fact that there are so many people who are just on government assistance, who are just on SNAP benefits, and they're getting thousands of dollars, and there's zero required for them to do anything, not be in school or work, has always been insane to me. But maybe that's the Republican side of my brain. How do you feel about that?
I just think it's just not that simple. But no, I'm not a big fan of folks just sitting on food stamps. I'm not. But once again, that's kind of like a bait and switch. It's like him trying to get people to stand up. Did you watch any of it last night?
No, I didn't. So let's go through some more of his
Well,
stuff.
let me make my example because I did see this part. So he had a part in his speech where he says, if he looks over to the Democratic side and says, if you believe that Americans should be taken care of first over illegal aliens, stand up. Then of course they're not going to stand up. Like, this isn't a stand up thing. But that's the type of theatrics that this guy is king of. He's just the king of theatrics. When it comes down to assistance, it's no, I don't expect people to live on food stamps forever, but a lot of folks are on assistance for a reason. But go ahead, what you got next?
And you're right. It was very Simon Says, from what the reports that I've heard. Like, Simon Says stand up if you love immigrants. Simon Says stand up if you love moms whose children were killed by immigrants. Stand up and touch your foot. It's like, it was a very, I'm telling you to do this. It was very
I'm so
performative.
happy you put that Ethernet cord in. It is like crystal clear. Go ahead.
My God. Anyway, the other thing was the next claim, every service member recently received a warrior dividend of $1,776. They put it on my desk. We got the money from tariffs and other things. A lot of money we had. I know for a fact this is a lie, because this didn't come from tariffs. This
Right.
is something that service members were already receiving. He just
Right.
changed how they got it and when they got it. This is nothing to
Yeah.
do with Trump. They were always receiving this money, but
Right.
instead of it going directly to the housing, he just
Right.
gave them a check,
Right.
which is dumb. Like, it's crazy.
It's we all have family members, and my we're connected to the military. My wife being former army or whatever, and then my
Next crazy
nephew came
claim.
home.
We have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did this happen? In
You
fact,
don't
crime
let
in
me make my
Washington
point
is.
about the check. You just not gonna let me finish my point about the check. You just not
Sorry,
hear
go
me
ahead.
when I was
I
talking about the
apologize.
check. So anyway, our nephew who is in the Air Force now, he was here around that time, on one of his breaks, and it's just like he's so funny, so monotone. He was like, "Younger me, yeah, we got it, but we're gonna get it anyway." It's like, yeah, exactly. It was coming anyway. So it's kind of like this guy's always trying to take the label off somebody else's work and put it on. Now you can continue. Go ahead.
But wait, he's done his entire life. Trump steaks, Trump magazine, Trump everything he does, he tries to white label it and put his name on it, and it just
Correct.
never works out. So, no more crime in DC. In fact, crime in Washington is now the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in DC this January were down close to 100 from a year ago. First of all, it's too cold in DC to go out and kill nobody. That's really what it is. It's
But
freezing
it's
cold. I
them
can't murder
storms
anybody
right
in the
now
freezing
is
cold.
crazy. I think I saw somebody in Rhode Island. They got up to 30 inches. It's crazy. This is some heavy. This is a wild winter for real. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
and
It's
and
wild.
and when you fact check it, but it isn't accurate to say there is almost no crime in Washington. Since January 1st, there have
It's
been 9 homicides, 126 assaults with a dangerous weapon, 322 motor vehicle thefts in the city. Year to date, homicides are down 67%. So it's not no crime, it's just lower, which is fine. I don't
sure.
When you have stats that are good, why not just go with the good stats? Why do we have to be so it's the best it's ever been. The Democrats were the
He
worst it's
doesn't know
ever
how to
been.
complete a sentence without making it a world record. Everything has to be the best ever, the biggest crowd ever, the biggest this, the biggest that. But here's the thing, and I know people who live in a lot of people live in DC. Those are my people. And there's some people who quietly are just like, man, this isn't, it's a little better, but still, it feels like a military state because everywhere you go, they're everywhere. And so there's that part. That part is highly uncomfortable for a lot of folks as well. But let's go. Keep going. Whatever lies was he caught in?
Um, of course, you talk inflation. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months in 2025, it was down 1.7%. This is false. Inflation isn't typically measured in just 3 month periods. The consumer price index, the most cited inflation metric, includes food and energy. While energy prices have been dropping, food prices have been on the rise over the last year. On an annual basis, inflation when Trump took office was 2.9%, which isn't a record high level. Inflation fell as low as 2.3% in April before it spiked again after sweeping worldwide tariffs were introduced. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to go up again.
Right.
The Supreme Court blocked a lot of tariffs, but he's still saying he's going to just put like a generic, what was it, 15% tariff on
I believe it
everybody
was
or
10%.
10%?
10% tariffs on just everybody. Everybody. You get a tariff. You get a tariff. You get a tariff. And
Because
the
he's not getting
lie
what he
that it
wants.
continues to, huh?
Because like, he's not getting what he wants. He really thought other countries would be like, no, don't do this. And other countries are like, why would we care? We don't care. Like, why would we care? We don't pay them. So why does that bother us? Doesn't
You
matter.
know, it's a lie. It's just like it's just math. When I hear people who get into this debate and want to talk about, oh yeah, the tariffs are amazing and it's driving so much revenue. Stupid. There's a camera, and I can't reach it right now because it's somewhere. But there's a camera that's pretty popular, Osmo Pocket 3. A lot of folks who use it both commercially and consumer wise. And it at one point it was a four or $500 camera. Now it's out there for $600 and $700 within the last year. There's a switcher that I use out here in business, and these are real life things, right? A switcher that I use when I do events and when we want to switch and whatever. And then when I purchased it 6, 8, 9 months ago, it was a little under $1,100, and so now it's over $1,300. And then they brought out a little brother of it, which was supposed to be the affordable one in comparison to this. And it first dropped 6 months, 4 to 6 months ago, and it was a $500 unit. It is now almost $800. And what a lot of people don't understand, if anything that has memory in it right now, because of Chat GPT and all of the all of these what do they call them, data centers that are popping up everywhere. Now
Hmm.
memory is a high commodity. So if it has memory in it,
Cloud
the
storage.
price is going up. Cloud storage is going up. Everything is going up. And so you keep telling me that, oh, well, the price of eggs and the price of eggs are down and gas prices are down, but
Which they're
everything
not.
else is up. Beef is up 20%. Chicken is up 12%. Right? So the stuff that we consume, the things we have to do, here's what we also know. Everything going up. Our barbers are charging more. Our hairdressers are charging more because everybody's got to pay more to exist. So
Yeah.
everything that we want is going up in price. So
Y'all wanna
stop
know why
telling
I'm
me
back in
that,
this wig? Because
huh?
it's easier. Y'all wanna know why I'm back in the
Right.
wig? Because it's easier and more affordable. I need to
Yeah.
be going to my hairstylist every, 4 to 6 weeks to get my hair back in shape. Do I have $75 every 4 to 6 weeks right now? No, I do not. I do not have it. But here's the funniest exaggeration Trump made. We have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short time period. And they're saying this is exaggerated. My thought process was yes, because you got rid of everybody and terrified everybody who is of, Caribbean, Spanish descent, who was doing those jobs, who were scared to go to work. And now those jobs are all available, even though white Americans and black Americans don't really want to do them. So congrats. Like, yay.
And we continue to look at this stuff and we're saying to ourselves like, wow, when are people going to wake up? And then this morning I did a little 4-box thing. It was a little 4-box thing, when you got, CNN and MS Now and Fox and whatever else was there. And I flipped over to the Fox, and they were at some little breakfast spot in Georgia. Those people over there is crazy, and they're just repeating what Trump told them at State of the Union when he screamed at the Democrats and said they were crazy. And I said to myself, this is when.
And even he's still touting that he's, I've ended 8 wars, which we all know is exaggerated and not true. You haven't ended 8 wars, but let me be 100% honest with you. As the Republican on the show, I hate watching Trump, but I hated the behavior from the Democrats. I hate all politics right now because everybody is so performative and childish and ignorant and stupid. I know Democrats love an Ilhan Omar, great, but she's a C word and she's not helping anything.
Why is she a C word? Why is she a C word?
You all screaming out during the State of the Union.
Please stop with that. That's. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. What? This goes back to Obama. This goes back to the Republicans losing all decorum.
That guy was an a-hole too. The guy who screamed at Obama. How dare you?
And this is the same. We're now at the point where our politicians are cussing and doing a little bit of everything. So decorum is out the way. We're in the attention economy. Do I agree with it? No, and hell no. But this is where we are. And because even Al Green, who's the senator from
the sign.
Yes. Yeah, the sign. But let's why did he have the sign? Because our president actually tweeted out, or whatever he called it, Truth Socialed it out, whatever. So you expect, let me ask you this. So is your expectation that that any Republican, not just Democrats, any politicians in response to Trump are just supposed to sit back and let him act any way he acts without any response?
No, but I feel like the response and the next day is a moment for that. That's why they have a Democratic response. Why, when they do the Democratic response, are they not just being like, you know what, go F yourself? They can do that then. In that
so you rather they do that?
I would. I feel like it should be there. And let's talk about the Al Green situation. And you may not agree with me on this. And I feel the same way about people asking, well, why aren't they doing protests about the Epstein victims and get the files out? We don't need to do a protest about the Epstein files and all that because everybody knows about it. Everybody's on the same page. We want those things released.
Everybody's not on the same page. If everybody was on the same page, this stuff would already be hit the streets.
Democrats and Republicans are on the same page about that. The only person not is Pam Bondi, but she knows about it. She's getting flamed about it. Blah blah blah. The same thing with the him having the image of apes over the Obamas. All the people who need to know about that know about. What's the point of having a sign there? It's not like we didn't know about it, or the administration didn't acknowledge it. It was awful how they acknowledged it. That was ignorant. That was backtracking. That wasn't an
acknowledgement. That was a CYA, a very bad CYA. You really feel like they acknowledged it, that it was terrible? You really think so? Really? Honestly?
No. Not that it was terrible. That's not what I'm saying. I guess I feel like when we do protests, it should be because enough attention isn't getting paid to something. It is falling by the wayside. Like Breonna Taylor's death or Sandra Bland's death. Or the murder of certain people, we make noise about that and we protest about that because it's being ignored. Nobody ignored the ape comment, the ape video about the Obamas. Everybody was on the administration's ass. The media was, everybody was. So what's the point of having the sign there, Al Green? Because we all know it happened. We all disagree with it. Media disagrees with it. They asked him questions about it. So, do you get what I'm saying?
The point is that many of us um, many people still, we assume people understand this. We assume people are paying attention, and everybody is not. It's at this point, if people were really paying attention to what has been going on for the last year plus, we have impeachment proceedings going on right now. Oh, serious impeachment
And that's
proceedings.
fair.
But it's
That's
not
right.
going to
You're right.
happen. It's not
No,
going to happen.
no.
He's too powerful. He has too much influence over what is going on, and so that's where we are. But here's the thing, and I'm very proud of what I'm getting ready to show you because this past weekend, Saturday it was, I had an opportunity to produce this event, and what you're looking at are 8 of the top 11 people running for governor for the state of Georgia.
Was that Brian Kemp?
Not Brian Kemp. That's Jeff Duncan. That is Derek Jackson. You see the wall. All those folks are running for governor. And
You
we had
produced
we had basically what you see is a dinner table type conversation. And my man Omar Ali, good friend of mine, this is his place. It was his event. It's his vision. And I was proud to sit there and help them and to produce this event. And looking at this picture right now, the only ones that were not there, Keisha Lance Bottoms, Burt Jones, who's a current lieutenant governor, and there's a guy Jackson's a billionaire. He's the Trump guy. He just got into the race here recently. And so I had heard from people like Chris Carr, who we just showed on the screen, Jeff Duncan, Dean, who two of those I just mentioned are Republicans, and they have very interesting ideas. Right, the state of Georgia is an interesting state because they can't treat black folks in the state of Georgia the way they treat black folks in a lot of places because we are
no, that's a
way
fact.
too important to the economy. We have way too much influence over what is going on. And don't get me wrong, still got a long way to go. Not even close to having.
Which is the reason why me and
Mhm.
my husband are just like Georgia on our mind because there is more people of color. Because my husband is not a black person, but he is a man
Mhm.
of color, and it's just a lot different. Florida right now is not only trying to price us out of
Yeah.
regular people, price them out of Florida. It's
Yeah.
it's it's not a safe place for people of color,
Yeah.
and though there are white people who are on our side, there are even some Republicans who are on our side. It's a crazy situation. I would have
Yeah.
loved to be invited to this event, but where was my invite to this? I'm trying to figure it out.
That's a good question. I don't know. I was working hard on it.
I would have gotten on Spirit Airlines for this type of event. I'm not even
It was
joking.
an amazing event. We will be premiering it very soon on YouTube and segmenting it and everything. Great sound bites, great information, great dialogue. But that's the type of world that we want to live in, where you can have dialogues and people. We understand. As a someone mid-50s, lived in this world, love to keep my coins. There's some fiscal conservative things that I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
And black and this is Georgia is one of the top states in the country. It's actually won an award several years in a row, top state in the country for entrepreneurship. And so, as an entrepreneur, I find a lot of value in living in the state of Georgia, a state that for the last almost 4 years has been, well, actually more than that, because um, what's the guy's doggone governor? His name just jumped out of my head.
Brian Kemp.
Governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp has had 2 terms. And there's a lot of entrepreneurs of all colors who are good with what has been going on. And so your brothers and your brothers in the chat. And so
My brother Gary.
yeah, he's in the chat. He said
Oh,
he
love my brother so much. Yeah,
so
no Spirit Airlines, bro. Him and his wife, there's some frontier flying Spirit Airline people. I have
yeah,
not gotten there. Like
yeah.
I'm not there yet.
Hey man,
Eventually,
you gotta
maybe.
get where you're going. All right, so anyway, let's jump back in. What's next? What else you got going on? Where are we going next?
We got to talk about what happened at the BAFTAs. We have to talk about what happened. What does BAFTA stand for, by the
What
way?
does
Hold
you
on one
tell
second.
me? Yeah, as I was going
I'm
to
gonna
ask you,
find that out before I go
what
into
does
my
BAFTA stand for? So
spiel.
here we go. BAFTA. It was a situation while we're figuring out what BAFTA stands for. What happened at BAFTA was Michael B. Jordan, Delroy Lindo were on the
The
stage.
British Academy Film Awards. Where's the T come from? Doesn't even matter. Fine. Yes, but we have to talk about the BAFTAs. Okay. So an incident at the BAFTAs this past weekend has had, the internet on fire, and in heated conversation about, accessibility, disability assessment, and racism. So on Sunday during the ceremony, John Davidson, an advocate for Tourette syndrome awareness and the real life subject of the biographical film Swear, which took home 3 awards that evening, including 2 for actor Robert Aramero for his portrayal of Davidson. He screamed out a racial slur while the 2 Black actors, Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Linda Warren, stage presenting the award. The moment was not edited out. Now, here's the key thing: it was not edited out of the broadcast, despite the BBC taping the show on a 2-hour delay, and Warner Brothers, who actually produced Sinners, wrote them and said, "Hey, all we know is it better be edited out by the time," because they heard it. It was like, this needs to be edited out immediately because 2 of our actors are on stage. And the fact that they edited it out when another somebody accepting the award made a speech talking about Palestine. That was edited out.
Of
So
course it
we
was.
kept the N word. Warner Brothers said take it out, and you remove the Palestinian thing. This is where it gets dicey
Right.
for me. So let me
Right.
give me your thoughts about that, and I'll go into the other bad parts of how they handled this.
You've already hit my thoughts. It's hypocritical.
Cool. Yes.
It's and it is what it is. When it comes down to Black
Tacky.
folks, they can treat Black folks any old way. But you better not step on folk. And here's the thing: even if I come up my mouth, you better not spoke on any Jewish toes. Folks are ready to pick it on my door, like, how dare you talk about the Jewish? It's not just about y'all. Like, this is a situation where this guy on the right of the screen, while they were up there doing their thing, reading from a teleprompter, called them niggers.
And that's
And
something
then claimed it was because he's got Tourette syndrome.
That is the 3rd time he did it that night. He had also done it to the Sinner's costume designer. He had done it to her twice to her face, and people were like, no, he has Tourette's. The other thing is that Warner Brothers now wants their lawyers involved because they're mad. The Warner Brothers is very upset about this. When, you think a big studio, why would they care? They're like, how dare you disrespect our actors on this stage? And we asked
and let's not act like let's not act like all white folks are cool with this. A lot of white folks hate racism as much as we do.
Yeah.
And this is some racist bullshit. And so they were like, hey, and not to mention, this Sinners was a pretty daggone successful movie. Do they want to piss off? Do they want to piss off Michael B. Jordan, who's known to be an advocate in his art? No, Absolutely. They're going to show that we're going to support him, and this is disrespectful. And so they said, okay, y'all need to do something about this.
And Delroy Lindo, who technically is a British actor. He moved to Canada when he was 16. Yes, he lived in the UK, was born there, lived in the UK till he was 15, 16 years old, then moved to Canada, then moved to the States. Like, he's a British actor. And the part that is also very concerning to me is that the host, Alan Cummings, issued a apology saying that Davidson has Tourette's and that, it's involuntary. And if you were offended, Alan Cummings,
the famous "if you were offended."
Oh my God. I don't understand why white people don't get this. It's not if I was offended. The apology should have been, John Davidson has Tourette's. He has Caporia, and I know I'm saying that wrong, I'm so sorry, where he blurts out curse words and slurs and all this kind of stuff, because that is a real part of the disease. That's fine. And he shouldn't have said it, but he can't control that. And then look over to where they're standing and say, I am so sorry that you two had to experience this. You guys should have never gone through this. This is a horrible situation. I am so sorry. And then everybody would have been fine. But making it seem like, why are these 2 Black men like mad about this? Like, how dare you? He has Tourette's. Tourette's is not an excuse for everything.
No.
It's not.
No. And like I said, the fact that it was okay, he's got Tourette's, so like that's an excuse. I don't know why that is positioned as an excuse. Here's the thing. It's still in his vocabulary for some reason. The N-word is in his vocabulary for some reason. He needs to remove that word from his vocabulary. Now, it is what it is. They just love crapping on Black people.
Can I bring another part of the conversation?
Sure.
This is not even so much about what he yelled at, but this is about people being disabled being in certain spaces.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, well, he shouldn't have been there because he's screaming out this type of stuff. He has, I just saw the word to pronounce it correctly. He has uh copralia. He has copralia, like he shouldn't have been. The other people are like, well, is he just supposed to stay home forever? Like he's a human being. He shouldn't be locked in his house. And I'm not, no one is saying that he should be locked in his house, but he screamed throughout the event. And when he couldn't control his tics at all, then he just ended up getting up and leaving because he screamed during Alan Cummings. He screamed other things. It's just one of those, it's a bad situation. And I'm sorry. I think that again, I'm a special needs parent. I have a
Hmm.
kid who laughs weird and can be loud and can be aggressive we have no idea which moment he's going to be when something comes out of his mouth. He's a sweet kid, but you just don't know how he's going to react to things. And I want him to have access to the world, but there's
Hmm.
certain events that we just don't take him to
Right.
because we don't want to embarrass him and we don't want him to be embarrassed. So what do
Sure.
you think about that?
Well, I think that you spoke that's I'm not qualified to speak further about it because that is a world that you guys live in, and
But you can.
knowing the level of how to deal with that is something I don't have the experience.
Well, let's give an example of your governor's ball thing that just not, or the governor's panel you just had.
Form, sure.
And you have a guest who has what John Davidson has,
Hmm.
and he starts to blurt out things, or you're told in advance, how would you handle it as a producer who wants to make sure this important event goes off without a hitch?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be kind of like, yo, bro,
Well,
we can set up a screen for you somewhere else?
here's the thing: if let's just say that scenario was played out, and someone with Tourette's in that scenario made it to that stage, then it wouldn't be the I wouldn't be the first one to he would have he or she would have enough training and would be able to manage it better. But the point is, let's say that one of those folks was in the audience, right? Let's say that
That's what I'm talking about, the
someone with
audience.
that
Yep.
issue was in the audience. That is, as a producer, our mics are going to be on the panelist,
Hmm.
and sometimes those natural sounds are going to happen regardless. Somebody could sneeze, somebody could cough, a baby
Absolutely.
could cry, and then if it becomes an issue that is distracting, then you would ask them to be excused and put somewhere where they could screen it elsewhere. But you do want to make it available. You want to make sure that you're taking care of people who are disabled. But on the flip side of that, does that excuse the behavior of this gentleman? Because did he apologize?
He did apologize. And it was a pretty straightforward apology that he's so sorry. He's not racist. It's so far from his thing. He's so sorry that he did this, that it happened. He didn't like say, I'm sorry to Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan, but he definitely kind of gave
Stop
his
there.
apology.
Stop there. He didn't. He did not apologize to Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan. That should
Not
have
from
been
the
the
one that I
first
saw.
thing he
No,
should have done.
no, he
That's the
didn't.
first thing he should have done,
That's
right?
true.
And you said it's not true.
No, no, no. I said true. Yes,
Oh,
true.
okay. But because it was their moment that was disrupted. It was their moment where they had to make a decision in that moment to not react the way that many of us will react because of what we've dealt with our entire lives, dealing with racism in our soul. So, just get over it. Maybe if y'all stop being racist rat bastards, one day we will get over it. But until you stop,
I'm so tired of hearing the one thing that I hate hearing, and I will hate it forever and ever and ever is, well, you guys say the N word, so why can't we? I'm like, we're again comparing apples and spaceships, and not all black people are okay with other black people saying it.
right,
Like, it just you just don't understand
right.
it. But
But they're
um,
not us, and stop trying to act like you are. That's part of the problem too.
yeah.
But
So
anyway,
let's go to our next story. Let's talk about Pinky Cole and her descent into madness by joining the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, slutty vegan founder Pinky Cole, restaurateur, have shown their peaches. Bravo announced on Tuesday the women have that it's two people have been named to the season 17 cast of the long-running reality series. The series, which premiered in October 2008, helped launch the careers of television personalities Nene Leakes, who has nothing to show for anything except for social media following, Kim Zolciak, who's bankrupt, as well as increased the spotlight for Grammy-winning songwriter Candy Burris. It absolutely did that. and former USA and actress Kenya Moore, who is now getting evicted out of her salon and owes $92,000. So no. Um, but I think the bigger conversation is Pinky Cole, why are you doing this? Why?
Well, because it's there's a lot of it's funny you bring that up, and it actually, as you walk through the other ones, you brought something to my attention. And is that when you look at when you look at the people who've been on that show, to me the most successful one who has been on that show has been Candy Burris, right? Because she
Yes.
has a real career.
Yes.
Escape can go on tour.
Yes.
That can help her to set more ticket sales there.
Yeah.
She's a restaurateur.
She's on Broadway right now.
She has real talent, right? Outside of just being on a reality show, right? So she's used that for many ways to be successful. Slutty Vegan, that she owns a lot of restaurants. And here's the thing, I disclosure, when she was awarded on with the 100 Black Men, she was awarded an award last year in an event that I produced, and they came to us, and it's passed now. So the Real Housewives people wanted to record some of the behind the scenes stuff and actually record at the gala, and we was like, nah,
No.
you're not bringing your
I
cameras
think you
to our
remember
gala.
talking about this with me a while ago. I didn't
Yeah,
realize what you were talking about, but
right.
I get why you guys said no,
Yeah,
because you guys didn't want your event. Because if it was just Pinky coming and maybe one other cast member, it's gonna go
right.
smoothly, great look for 100 Black Men of Jackson of Atlanta and her. But if it
Yeah,
would have been the whole cast and a fight broke out at you guys' event,
yeah,
oh my god, oh that just would
yeah.
have like ripped my soul out.
Yeah, that's we're not gonna have that. And I don't suspect that would have happened, but you never know. And
You
and,
never
and
know.
and that's not having Pinky Cole there or having the Real Housewives of Atlanta there, and something goes down is not helping us build relationships with our funders.
No,
So no, we appreciate you though. We want to honor you as a tremendous entrepreneur, someone who's done a lot of things and brought lot of great value to the city of Atlanta, Nashville, to Black women, to Clark, brought great shine to Clark Atlanta, great shine to Delta Sigma Theta, so many great things. And so, but she's going to be fine. And so as my man Network King was saying, that she needs the money, but more so she needs the money, but more so the visibility. She last year, Slutty Vegan for a period, and this is public knowledge. I'm not breaking. This isn't breaking news. She didn't own Slutty Vegan for part of last year. She had to buy it back from some old. It was a business deal that kind of went sideways, and so yeah, maybe she needs a little bit of money, a little bit more to raise her capital. Maybe she needs, but the bottom line is she's extremely successful. And so now now she's going to. But what she also has been. Here's the other part that people may not know. She started off her career as a television producer.
yes.
So she's very comfortable in this space. You
No,
know,
no,
when
no. I get that she's comfortable in this space, but it
yeah.
just seems so beneath her. Like
Eh,
you're Pinky Cole who started. And again, I'm in the franchise space. If you watch the show long enough, you know I'm in the franchise space. Why
mhm.
not put the energy, effort, and money into launching franchise lead generation ads and expand your business? Get your name out by having multiple locations, because she really hasn't moved. She's got one in Brooklyn, one she only has 6 locations, which is
Well, she's
popular
closed some
as
locations too.
huh?
She's expanded and she's closed some locations.
She has,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
means she needs a franchise partner behind her. And I
Mhm.
think that if she would have done the proper way of expanding, got a good FDD, got a good lead generation, like my company,
Yeah.
we're not nominated by Entrepreneur Magazine to expand her business, she wouldn't have to go on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because we know how this show gets down. Side note,
Mhm.
I have this is so messed up. I have nominated the Lloyds to go on Real Housewives of Atlanta multiple times. I've written producers, I've mentioned it to them.
I
I
hope you're
have.
telling. I really hope that you're lying right now.
I'm not.
Jesus.
I'm not lying. I'm
Okay.
not. I'm ashamed, but I have multiple times because I have other friends who have interviewed for whatever, like, but you should look at Miguel and Tracy Lloyd because da 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 da, and they do this and this and blah 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 blah. Because I'm thinking that it's a good thing, but in reality, it doesn't really bring anybody a positive light outside of Candy. Who outside of Candy has gotten a positive light?
I don't pay attention enough to even know who really been on that show. The last time I was paying attention, Kim was still up there, and she was married to the football player. I don't pay no attention
That was
to
years ago, sir.
correct. Last time I paid any attention, what's her name? It was probably 3 generations of surgeries ago. Nene Leakes. I don't know who that woman is now.
She's like
So
a Muppet.
So
She looks like a Muppet.
here's the thing: there's money in the level of attention that they get, right? And it keeps them relevant. There's people on that show who would never, ever, 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 ever be relevant if it wasn't for the fact of that show.
Absolutely not. They wouldn't. And really quick, I just want to go
Mm,
back to what the networking comment was that she expanded way too fast and didn't ensure the infrastructure is there. Exactly. And that's why you need a franchising partner behind you to
yeah.
walk you through all those steps. And that's a part of the FDD. People, just quick educational moment. We don't have the little thing that pops up, but what an FDD does is it lays out your business, your structure, each
Hmm.
revenue, how you'll grow year over year, what you need so that anybody coming in can see your entire structure and growth and all this information. And I
Hmm.
don't think any of that's ever been laid out, or maybe it doesn't have even been looked at.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Let me just tell you, in circles that I run in here in the city of Atlanta, we were surprised when
Miguel
this
has beef
happened with her.
with going on
Uh,
the show.
huh?
With going on the show
Going on what show?
on Real
With her going on the
Housewives.
show. No, we were surprised when she lost the business. And
Oh,
I
okay,
think
okay, okay.
part of it, she did have 2 babies, I believe. So
And
part
got
of it was
married.
that, huh?
She had 2 babies and got married.
She got
Like,
married, but then she had 2 babies, and that also took her away from the business. And I think that was part of the time where she had some issues with the business as well. Is that she didn't have her hands on it for you just had babies, you're away from the
yeah.
business, and that also I think was also part of the problem. But when it's all said and done, um, this may be a short term thing. It may be something. Believe me when I tell you, she's got the personality to be successful on one of those shows. She
And I
has the
really
personality for it.
but I hope that the show doesn't do what is done to K Michelle. Reality TV show has not helped K Michelle. It hasn't. She has been on reality TV since the iteration of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta
Right.
from years ago,
Right.
and I don't think that's helped her career. Now,
What does she do besides be a reality star and make a song every 5 years?
well, I mean, her first album that she made while she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta did very well. That was a very, very, very good album. But
Right.
since then, it's
But
almost like she kind of figured I can sing and singing's bringing in a little bit of money. Reality TV has to bring in the rest of the money for me to
and
give
that's
me this.
that's that that's
She's
just
married to a doctor now.
but see that's just it, right? Reality TV, music, that's marketing. People don't buy music anymore. They subscribe to it. They rent music, right? They rent the TV that they watch. So now what does that mean? Are you touring? Is it turning it into brand deals? Are you what else are you doing? And that's the part that maybe reason why she's back on reality TV because she's never really been successful in developing a brand, monetizing herself online. I'm just throwing stuff out there now because if you say she's my thing is anybody that's still on reality TV and for as long as some of them have been on reality TV is because they haven't found a way to monetize it enough to break free. So that's just my thought. But let me see and check these comments some more. Let's see what else we got going on here. It's a possibility that SOPs to ensure quality assurance. My man, he getting deep. He getting deep into the marketing
And you're
aspect of it.
right. Again, this is all if she got a good partner who understood the franchising part, they would help her with the SOPs. They would help her with the quality insurance, the assurance. They would help her where you open one store, it does well, and then they exactly duplicate that process to help you open up your next store. Then they
Hmm.
duplicate that and they keep going and going and going. I know again with my agency, we don't really recommend now people open up, even start talking about franchise lead generation until you have a solid FDD, which we do a review, and you have at least 10 locations open. And she's got 6 open right now, so she's close, but there
Hmm.
doesn't seem to be consistency with the brand.
And
So
you know people are not going out to eat like they used to. There are things culturally that have changed. A lot of folks are broke. They don't have the expendable income to spend, $20 on a vegan burger. They just want to go back to the regular burger, right? It's
That's a
you know
fact.
that's there's a lot of factors that are going on that are different now than they were, when she first launched this business probably 10 years or so ago. But we'll continue to watch it. We'll see. But hear me when I tell you, if reality TV is your thing, she's going to do that well. I have confidence that she's going to be interesting for people who consume reality television. All right. Something else we're
Is it
supposed to
how
talk
what
about today.
time? Let's do how what real quick. I'm gonna drop this into the guest chat
Oh
because
Jesus.
we're about to get into a hum what that is going to make you mad. And I don't make Miguel mad that often. I gross him out maybe. So we're about to watch a video of what an influencer calls a hack when you travel. So go ahead and play that beautiful bean footage.
Oh God, you taking me to TikTok. Well, let me see. Open Safari. All right, hold on. Let me go back.
Volume.
Coffee buzzing in it. Even the other coffee makers were like bruised through.
Well, let me rewind. Here we go. All right, here we go.
Okay.
So you're traveling and you didn't pack enough underwear, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear tomorrow? Every room has like a coffee buzzing in it. Even the other coffee makers were like bruised through. All you have to do, put your underwear where you put the coffee grounds, you close it, you press brew, and it puts scorching hot water through it. You guys, then the hair dryer in the bathroom, you blow dry that bathroom, you got yourself a clean pair of underwear to wear. I did not realize how many people already knew this hack. I learned it years ago from a friend that was a flight attendant, and it's brilliant. I'm about to show you guys one of the coolest tricks ever.
Good. Pause it now.
You really, yeah, Lord Jesus.
Oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear tomorrow?
So here's the part that is even funnier. Apparently, people found out what hotel this is and have been spamming them and just going ridiculous in the comments. They're not trying to sue her for defamation, basically, because it actually is defamation, saying that you're ruining people's Keurig machines and then saying that it's something that the hotel is promoting when they're not. So the hotel is mad. Keurig is also very upset.
Of course.
because that is another part of Keurig's business. Like, yes, we all buy Keurigs, but Keurigs are also well sold throughout hotels in the entire world.
Absolutely.
So now hotels are pulling back on ordering Keurigs or repairing their Keurigs or whatever because of her. And she's being sued now. But listen, this is going to sound racist, but white people, stop being gross. This is some white people stuff. Black people, we have never thought, hey, let's take our underwear and stick it in the Keurig. The rest of us have been like, just go get that hand soap and wash it in the sink.
Right,
and
wash
then
it
hang
out
it
in
over
the
the
sink.
balcony.
Right, like, and here's the thing. Here's what we know. They ain't cleaning them daggum Keurigs. Might be damn near ever. Those hotel people not sliding through there and thinking, oh, somebody done put their drawers up in this doggone Keurig. I need to make sure that I cleaned out this Keurig. No, they just putting some more coffee pods there and making the bed up.
They wipe down the outside.
Right.
They wipe down the outside. That's it. Because in reality, in most cases in the hotel, wiping on the outside, fine, whatever. The hot water kills the germs that are supposed to be in there. But vaginal discharge.
Jesus Christ. Really, you had to bring this to Lord have mercy. All right, so nasty woman cleaning out.
It's a thing.
Nasty woman cleaning out her drawers with the Keurig.
Okay,
disgusting.
so we can talk about the next hell what, and that is the fact that old behind T.I. and 50 are beefing, and I don't understand.
So 50 Cent, who, you asked me before the show, you was like, why is 50 Cent like this? 50 Cent has always been like this. This is how 50 Cent first hit the scene. This is what he does. And so now it's does anybody even drink that cognac that he always promoting? I don't even know. I don't drink cognac.
What cognac? He has a cognac?
he puts it on every post. Go on IG and look at 50 Cent. He always is promoting the post. The cognac is the last thing he puts with every trolling post he puts out there. Something Branson cognac or something. And so this all started because, you know, they're trying to really get this promote. Exactly. They're trying to promote these verses, right? Which was a big thing during the pandemic. And now they're trying to turn these into these online concerts. And, you know, you look at both of them 50 years old, a doggone near 50 years old. And so they're getting out here and they're trying to gin it up. Now, that first single that T.I. dropped, shout out to 757 Pharrell production, was dope. It is dope. But here's the thing. As soon as you start beefing with 50 Cent, you know he's going to go to the dungeons of hell. That's just where he's going. He don't know where to stop. He don't know how to say, okay, where is the bottom? 50 don't know where the bottom is. And here's a funny thing. We talked about this earlier in the show about politicians and people cussing and people not having decorum. 50 Cent is the same dude who just did a major deal with a whole city and state in Louisiana. And he's building an empire like Tyler Perry down in Louisiana. But he's still out here in these streets picking fights with rappers. But this is his brand. He's built his whole career from the beginning. How to rob a rapper. I'm trying to think back 25, 30 years ago when he first dropped that single. And I was just like, who is this dude? And why is he just like this? But he's built this career like this for the last 25 years.
But it's not affecting T.I. the way that he thinks. So from what I can gather, this started because 50 started talking crap about Tiny, about her shape.
Is that where it started?
Go with me now.
Okay.
That's where it started. So
all
then
right.
King, that weirdo not SpongeBob, but Sideshow Bob hair, weird albino son of his, came back and said, do not talk. I'm sorry. Is albino bad?
Go ahead. Jesus Christ.
He looks weird. He looks like he needs to go back in the oven because he's not cooked all the way. Like things haven't formed. He just looks odd to me. Anyway, he came back and said, don't mama, and had all these things. And then 50 Cent came back and said some things. And then he came back and said some things and then dragged T.I. into it. And T.I. was like, okay, here we go. And then T.I. just dropped his diss track when 50 then for some random reason bought in Beyonce's mom.
Because 50 don't know the bottom. 50 has no bottom. It does not matter. If he gets attention, he feels like he's won. That's that dude. That's 50 Cent.
Click the link. Play T.I.'s new song. It's so good.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good on that. Mm-mm.
Why?
Mm-mm. 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 I don't think it was really that good from what I heard. I wasn't really that impressed. You talking about the diss track? Where did you send me the link of it? Is it on that page that you sent?
Oh wait, this isn't the diss track I was talking about. It's the one from him sitting down at the table with his mom and family. Was that not the diss track?
No, that's the first track. You talking about when he was at dinner?
Yeah, what song is that? That's the same
joint. If it's the clip that I've seen, that's the same joint. You know, these are 50-year-old rappers, man, who
No, this isn't the song that was on that commercial. Because that song that was actually not commercial on his Instagram. Because that song is Instagram, I liked. This is like, ooh, I don't like this. You're weird. So let's go into the last part of the show while we wrap this up. And what are you watching? I know you're watching Paradise.
We have not started watching Paradise yet. We will start watching Paradise because what people don't know. All right, so we just finished watching Lincoln Lawyer.
Okay.
Lincoln Lawyer was cool. You know, it's because I have an eye for it. I said, Lincoln Lawyer is like a show that could have been on TNT or TBS. It just feels like that. Mm-hmm. What you booing about, bro? What are we booing? So Lincoln Lawyer, I'm checking Lincoln Lawyer out. And so we started watching, what's the other one that's on Netflix that just came back, about the guy who was underneath, it was the CIA agent answering phones.
Night Agent. We just finished it as well.
Night Agent, we're watching that. Watched about 2 or 3 episodes of that. Then I flipped over to Cross. And here's the thing. I saw somebody post about Cross. If you saw the first season of Cross, that was out a couple of years ago, that was blackety black. It was so DC. It was down to the go-go, the Ben's Chili Bowl. It was blackety black.
It was DC Blackety Black.
It was DC blackety black. And of course that served my soul. Oh, DC on
You are
TV being
DC Blackety Black.
I'm DC blackety black. So now this year, I saw somebody post and it said, what did it say? It was black before, now it's BIPOC. and so you know what I mean, right? So now
do.
the storyline this year, it involves a Hispanic killer and something and blah 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 blah. So the cast,
it's like how they did Wakanda Forever.
There you go. So and so as I'm watching this stuff, I'm saying to myself, guys, we have gone through an era. We've gone through the best era of black cinema consumption and availability that we probably will ever see. And here's why. These folks that are buying up these networks, the Ellisons of the world who are aligned with Trump and all these people, they said take all these black people, these Asian people, and these women, and all these people, take them off and put them on the streaming services over here to the side. It's not going to be about them no more.
Well, really quick, the reason why Cross is on streaming only is because Tyler Perry played him first, and they were like, "We're not doing this again. I don't care who you have playing it. We're not doing this again."
Eventually, in 15 years of doing this show, you still ain't got over your Tyler Perry hate.
Listen, let me tell you what's probably going to happen. You're going to become very successful as a producer, and I'm going to come to one of your events, just being me, and he's going to be there, and he is going to point in my face and say, "I've watched every single comment you've ever made." And I'm going to have to go, "Yes, sir, but please don't affect my brother based on my comments because I still don't like you."
Well, here's the thing. You don't have to worry about that because Tyler doesn't go anywhere. I've been in this city now for 11, going on 12 years. He don't go nowhere. He go where it's places that he can control, and there's much richer people. Rich people are at the events where Tyler Perry is. We ain't there. So
eventually we will all be there, and we'll have to have my Tyler Perry confrontation. I'm ready.
Well, you can always, and there's always a conversation anytime I bring Shed G on the show, and Shed always had those uncomfortable moments like y'all talking.
By the way, I'm the reason why Shed don't come on the show no more. It's because of me. He's the one who doesn't deal with it.
Shed, we can have Shed on anytime. Shed is doing some great stuff over there. Make sure you follow Shed G Dallas and Shed G, my man. He's on all the platforms. He's got a show that's airing on locally in Dallas, and he's getting ready to do his first. He's going to record his first stand up in Denver, and I think it's in August. I gotta find a date, and hopefully I'm available. I'll make it out there. Here we go. So he's he's the Kevin Hart. Is he the Kevin Hart hater? Now I got to talk to my people. What's there to hate about Kevin Hart? I don't get it.
He hates everything about Kevin Hart. He hates that he's short. He hates the way he gives jokes. He hates the way he acts. I love the Jumanji movies. I turn them on, and the death stares that I have to deal with, I'm like, they're cute. He's like, they're not. He's stupid. I hate him. Blah. So he hates.
He hates Kevin Hart. You hate Tyler Perry and Michael B. Jordan. And
Cat Williams. Apparently, Cat Williams is a new special out too. I started trying to watch it. Yeah. And people keep saying you have to get through the first 10 minutes. Sir, I don't have that kind of time to get through the first 10 minutes of a comedy special. So, but apparently it's supposed to be good. So we'll see. But before we get off, yes, Night Agent was good. You guys should finish watching that. It was very good. And it actually has a cute ending. And then Paradise just came back. The first 3 episodes launched on Hulu.
Yeah.
One of the podcasters that I love, Angel, that chick Angel, who had that song, I can't think of the name of the song right now. She's actually starring in the first episode with Shailene Woodley, and she does a fantastic
that chick
job.
Angel. You talking about the one that hangs with Kevin on stage?
Yes, she's an actress. That's her real trait because she was on ER. She's in a lot of shows. She's actually
she was on.
In the first
she was in
episode.
something. She was playing. Oh, she was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She had a little recurring role there too.
Yeah, I think so, but she was on ER.
She did.
Did 911. She's done ER 911. She's done little things.
She's very funny.
This was a big for her. And she was in the first 20 minutes of the show.
She's in Paradise. Well, we're probably gonna check that out now. So we're checking out that. You know what I'm not watching, and don't tell anybody. I'm not watching a lot of basketball right now.
Why? There's a bunch of fights.
It's not a bunch of fights. Don't spread the lies. But here's the thing. There's been like
I-
2 or
I
3
watched
fights.
That's a lot of fights.
Stop it with the lies. So and so there's a conversation around whether or not, because LeBron is holding on. Like LeBron is
Like his
like
hairline.
he know he's the brand. He know he's he needs to not be the face. But the problem is that there's no American basketball players that are stepping up to step in his void. Most of these big players, these major players, they're international players. So, anywho,
we didn't talk about, and I know
What?
I keep dragging the show on, but there's so much cool things to talk about.
Yeah.
That the All-Star weekend or
Yeah.
All-Star game changed their format.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
watched it together, me, you, Omar, and Tracy.
Yeah.
The new format
It was good.
was a lot better.
It was entertaining. It was interesting. The one thing that they did that I would like for them to do, and I'll be interested to see if they take this on, is what the women have adopted in both Unrivaled and with the WNBA is, and that's another whole nother conversation. Will we have a WNBA season? Is that it's the 1 versus 1, the 1v1. Can you imagine a 1v1 of Anthony Davis? Anthony Ant out of Minnesota, and SGA, or those would be. And now, first of all, anybody trying to play 1-on-1 against Wemby, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because you ain't gonna do nothing to stop him. But that's and I'm wondering if they would be able to shoulder the brand hit that these guys would probably be scared of, the brand hit that they would take. But I think it'll be interesting, almost promoted like boxing, to be able to do this 1v1. So it was good. I thought it was really good. I really did. So all right, we out of here. Appreciate y'all. We miss anything? If we did, we'll see y'all next week. Peace and bye-bye.
Bye.